The scream sliced through the morning stillness, sharp and desperate, like a warning shot in a war no one saw coming. Sarah Bennett, former Marine Corps combat instructor turned single mom, snapped her gaze to the driveway. Her 6-year-old son, Liam, stood frozen, a piece of blue chalk dangling from his small hand as a man in a navy blue uniform yanked him by the arm. Another man, taller, loomed nearby, his mirrored sunglasses glinting coldly. Sarah's coffee mug shattered on the porch floor, and she was already moving, her body a weapon primed for battle. From the porch, her mother's voice calm, lethal, cut through the chaos with one word: now. What unfolded next in the quiet suburb of Willow Creek, Texas, would ignite Ral Deos, spark a federal investigation, and become a legend whispered across neighborhoods. But for Sarah, it wasn't about fame or justice. It was about Liam, her son, her everything. And the men who dared touch him were about to learn what happens when you provoke a mother forged in fire. The morning had begun with deceptive peace. Sunlight filtered through the pecan trees lining Willow Creek's tidy streets, casting golden patches on lawns fragrant with fresh grass and jasmine. Sprinklers hissed, and a cardinal chirped lazily from a fence post. Sarah stood on her porch, barefoot in worn jeans and a faded tank top, her dark hair in a loose ponytail. To neighbors, she was just another mom, sipping coffee, watching her kid play. But beneath that calm exterior lay a past she'd buried. Years training elite soldiers to break bones and neutralize threats in seconds. She'd traded that life for Liam, for slow weekends and bedtime stories. For normal. Liam, sprawled on the driveway, was engrossed in drawing a massive pterodactyl with neon chalk. "Ma, look, it's flying," he called, grinning. Sarah smiled, the kind that felt like it could anchor the world. "Best pterodactyl ever, buddy," she said, sipping her coffee. Liam giggled and resumed his work, humming softly. These moments were why Sarah still believed the world could be good. Then came the sound, a low, predatory rumble, like a beast stalking closer. Sarah's smile vanished. Her instincts, sharpened by years of training, flared. A black SUV crept down the street. No license plates, tinted windows swallowing the light. It moved too slowly, too deliberately. Sarah set her mug down, her pulse quickening. Liam, oblivious, kept drawing. The SUV stopped in front of their house. 2 men stepped out, their navy blue uniforms crisp but oft-too theatrical, like costumes from a cheap cop drama. Patches read community enforcement, and their belts bristled with fake radios and tasers. No badges, no name tags. Everything screamed authority, but nothing felt real. Sarah descended the porch steps, positioning herself between the men and Liam. Her voice was steady, her eyes locked on them. "Who are you?" The taller man, broad with a square jaw, adjusted his sunglasses. "This property VY OLAT's code 3B. Unauthorized driveway markings. We're issuing a citation." Sarah's eyes narrowed. "There's no code 3B. You're not HOA. What's this about?" The shorter man, wiry with a smirk that made her skin crawl, stepped forward, clutching a clipboard. "Graffiti's not allowed, ma'am. Step aside, or we escalate." "That's chalk," Sarah said, her voice low and sharp. "It washes off. You're not touching my son." The shorter man ignored her, striding toward Liam. Sarah's heart lurched. "Liam, come here," she called, but the boy froze, confused. Before she could move, the man grabbed Liam's wrist, pulling him toward the SUV. Liam yelped, and Sarah's world turned to fire. "Get your hands off him." Her voice was a blade, the tone she'd used to command soldiers under fire. The man sneered. "Back off, or you're obstructing enforcement." Sarah was already moving, closing the gap, her body coiled for violence. Too far to reach Liam immediately, she calculated angles, ready to strike. On the porch, her mother, Ellen, pressed a button on her phone and whispered, "Now." In the next heartbeat, chaos erupted. From behind a row of junipers, Sarah's brother, Matt, a former Army Ranger, emerged like a shadow. He moved with lethal precision, his gloved hand locking around the taller man's neck in a chokehold. The man's sunglasses flew off as he was dragged backward, legs kicking, vanishing into the foliage. The shorter man, still gripping Liam, froze, his confidence crumbling. Liam twisted free, stumbling toward Ellen, who pulled him into her arms on the porch. Sarah didn't hesitate. She crashed into the shorter man, her shoulder slamming into his chest. The air left him in a wheeze as she swept his legs, slamming him to the concrete with a judo throw. He hit hard, gasping, his clipboard skittering away. Sarah knelt over him, pinning his arm behind his back. "You just made the worst mistake of your life," she growled, her face inches from his. Neighbors emerged, phones out, recording. "Call 911, someone yelled. They tried to grab her kid. The man beneath Sarah struggled weakly. "We're just doing our job," he wheezed. "You're pretending to be something you're not," Sarah snapped. "And you touch my son." Sirens wailed in the distance. Sarah glanced at Liam, now clinging to Ellen. "You okay, buddy?" she called, softening her voice. Liam nodded, his lip trembling. They said my pterodactyl was bad. Sarah forced a smile, her heart aching. "It's the coolest pterodactyl ever, sweetheart." The man groaned. She leaned closer, her voice ice. "You messed with the wrong mom." Police cruisers screeched onto the street. Matt emerged from the backyard, brushing leaves from his jacket. The taller man lay zip-tied in the grass, groaning beside a toppled planter. Matt, calm as ever, pulled on latex gloves and nodded to Sarah. "He's down." Sarah stood, her pulse steady, adrenaline now a tool, not a master. The shorter man, still on the ground, looked up, his smugness replaced by fear. "Names," Sarah demanded. "Who sent you?" "We're community enforcement," he stammered. "Code compliance." "A misunderstanding." Matt snorted. "No badges, no IDs, no real HOA. You try to drag a kid into an unmarked SUV over chalk." The man's eyes darted to the growing crowd, neighbors filming, whispering. Sarah's mind raced. This wasn't random. The SUV, the uniforms, the script, it was too polished. They'd expected compliance, not resistance. And Liam was their target. Matt crouched beside the man. "What's the scam? Fake citations, threats, kidnapping, ransom, extortion?" The man stayed silent, sweat dripping. Sarah's fists clenched, the image of Liam being pulled toward the SUV burning in her mind. She knelt again, her voice low. "Talk to the police, or I'll let the neighbors decide what you are." A neighbor shouted. "Cops are here." 2 squad cars pulled up, lights flashing. A tall officer, late 30s, stepped out, scanning the scene. "What's going on?" Sarah raised her hands, palms out. "I'm the homeowner. These men tried to abduct my son, claiming HOA enforcement. They're not real. We've restrained them." The officer eyed the zip-tied man in the backyard, then the one groaning on the driveway. His partner, a younger woman, began taping off the area. "You did this?" he asked Sarah, skeptical. Matt stepped in. "She trained soldiers tougher than you." This was nothing. The officer didn't argue. As crime scene tape went up, a plainclothes detective arrived, grizzled, unshaven, named Detective Harper. He surveyed the chaos with a tired sigh. "Fake HOA. 3rd call this month. Same MO. Black SUV. Fake uniforms. Nonsense violations like toys or chalk. They scare people, demand fines. One case, they took a kid for a detainment drive until the parents paid." Sarah's blood ran cold. "Why no warning?" Harper shrugged. "HOA complaints get ignored. Most don't fight back. Until you." An officer popped the SUV's trunk, revealing zip ties, rope, blank citations, a burner phone, and a file box with addresses, photos, and dossiers on families, including Sarah's. Her stomach twisted. Harper's face hardened. "That's conspiracy to kidnap." Sarah stepped closer to the shorter man, now handcuffed on the curb. "What were you going to do with my son?" He didn't answer, but his eyes cold, calculating, spoke volumes. She leaned in, her voice ablade. "You thought I'd freeze. You were wrong." The investigation blew open from there. The men, Carl Reese and Derek Vance, were part of a scam ring hitting suburbs across 3 states. They impersonated HOA officials, targeted families with kids, and used fake violations to extort money or escalate to abductions. They'd hit dozens of neighborhoods, exploiting trust and weak oversight. Until Sarah. The burner phone revealed encrypted chats and target lists. Reese had a fraud record. Vance, a disgraced ex-security guard. Their operation was linked to a figure called the Broker, still at large. Sarah's takedown, captured on a neighbor's Ring camera, went viral. By night, it hit Reddit's front page. By morning, it was on national news. Texas mom, ex-Marine, stops fake HOA kidnappers. TikTok exploded with edits of Sarah's throw, set to action music. Twitter dubbed her the Mama Bear Marine. Sarah hated the spotlight, but agreed to one-inner VYEW when Liam started her VY-ing nightmares. On air, she said, "I'm a mom. You touch my kid, you deal with me. Trust your instincts. Protect your own." The clip went global. Letters poured in, one from a retired cop. "You reminded us what courage looks like." Sarah read them, but the fame felt empty. She wasn't a hero, just a mother. Liam returned to his chalk, drawing a new pterodactyl guarding a stick-figure mom in combat boots, stomping on fake cops. A speech bubble read, "My mom's the boss." Sarah hugged him, tears in her eyes. "Love it, kiddo." The neighborhood changed. Cameras went up. A watch group formed. The HOA tightened rules. Detective Harper called weeks later. "We've got 4 more suspects. You broke this open." Sarah nodded, staring at Liam's drawing. "Good. Keep hunting. Because some fights don't end in the driveway. They end when EVYL learns it can't win not when a mother's watching." If you were the one in this story, how would you react? Would you stand up and fight back, or accept the unreasonable pressure and control from the HOA? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this VY with more people. Your small action gives us the motivation to keep bringing you more intense and engaging stories. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next VY.